Well, the majority of business economists say the best way to reduce the federal deficit is mostly through spending cuts. Now, that's according to a new survey out today by the National Association of Business Economists. This totally goes against what President Obama has said, his balanced approach of both spending and tax increases. Here to weigh on this is Mark Meckler, National Coordinator of the Tea Party Patriots. Mark, thanks for being with us today. What do you think about this? I mean, and I know we have a full screen of the results, but 56% said mostly spending cuts will bring down the deficit. Totally goes against what the president has said.
Well, and it goes against what the president said he's wanted to do since the beginning of his term. And it goes against, common sense. Common sense tells us that if you take money out of people's pockets, they'll have less money to spend, they'll have less money to invest in business. So I think this is just common sense. We see economists reinforcing what most Americans already know inherently.
You know, many conservative Republicans and the Tea Party pushing to end that payroll tax cut. And yet you get your opponents saying, yeah, but that's a tax increase. How do you defend that?
Well, the reality, that's very minimal. It has very little to do with what's going on in the economy. And mostly that's just political theater. What we're looking for is real, long-term, honest-to-goodness reform that businesses can depend on.
Yeah, and if nothing else, it eats away at our already drowning Social Security fund. Let's talk about what it would take then to get this economy going again. I mean, should we throw in QE3?
I don't think we should throw in QE3. We shouldn't have thrown in QE2.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not good economics. These same business economists probably would have been against that. Again, it has long-term negative effects. We're seeing those effects now. We don't need to just add to those.
You know, Tea Party made a lot of noise recently, actually, and at the same time taking a lot of heat. Maxine Waters, God bless her, always good for a good soundbite, has one for us today because she's good comedy, but let's take a listen and then we'll talk about it.
A lot of people at the congressional level and even at the precinct level do a lot of talking and a lot of balking. Don't do enough voting, don't do enough supporting. Now, I'm not afraid of the big bad wolf. I'm not afraid of anybody. This is a tough game. You can't be intimidated. You can't be frightened. As far as I'm concerned, the Tea Party can go straight to hell.
I don't know, Mark. You've been called terrorist by the vice president. Now she's telling you to go to hell. You guys got a little ego issues going on here.
Well, obviously they're scared of us. Interestingly, I've never heard Maxine Waters call out and for the terrorists to go to hell. She's willing to say that about American citizens. Where is this calming of the rhetoric that the president has called for? Obviously, what we need here is we need to calm people down. We need to calm the rhetoric. Maybe they need to calm people down. It's time for the second revision of this. Like we have QE2, right? Maybe we need calming the rhetoric too.
You have made a lot of noise, and I actually think you've made a lot of progress. Do you feel, though, that you're splitting the Republican Party at all?
No, we don't. I mean, and honestly, we don't stand for the Republican Party. What we stand for are the principles of fiscal responsibility, and we want to see government shrunk down into the box. We want people following the Constitution. Those are principles that are neither Republican nor Democrat. Those are principles that stand for the American foundation. All we're trying to do is take America back to its founding principles. Again, that's not partisan. It's not Republican or Democrat. We're not here to split or unite either party.
Do you have a candidate then right now?
No, I mean, we're not here, again, to support any particular candidate. What we're looking at is the principles that the candidates support. I think you're going to see Tea Partiers all across the country doing what they should do. They're going to do a mature analysis of those candidates. We see what its excitement and enthusiasm bring us. They brought us what we have in the White House right now. That's not what we're looking for in 2012.
What do you want to hear, though? And I know there's the big esoteric spending cuts, stop, control the budget, things like that. But what specifically are you looking to hear?
Well, I think the main thing is this is an election that's going to be about principle. We're not looking for compromise. We're looking for people who are going to stand on principle. I hear all the time that the Tea Party needs to compromise on this or the Tea Party needs to compromise on that. The truth is we've spent decades compromising our way into disaster, and it's time to have people who stand on principle. Those are the only people who are going to fix this country.
Yeah, we still got a long ways to go with this election, though, Mark. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Tracy.
Mark Meckler, Tea Party Patriots National Coordinator.